What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and we've got some breaking news for you coming out that's going to be impacting stimulus and everything happening right now. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, first up, yes, if you noticed a different background, we are in Los Angeles, California, visiting our friends. So I'm going to be just doing some updates here and there to keep you up to date on the latest. Shout out to my buddy Ben for letting me use his recording space. If you guys are interested in learning more about the Bible and Jesus, visit his channel, Ben Stone Teach Jesus APP. And again, shout out to him. Thank you for letting me use your recording space. But you guys, there is some news coming out to get you caught up on, breaking news on stimulus, and some of this is going to be impacting me directly with our travel plans. But first, take a look at this headline that just came out yesterday. Democrats prepare to take a second run at Biden's spending plan. And yes, they're talking about that revitalized Build Back Better that we had heard so much about. We heard the president say that they wanted to pass chunks. We heard from Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. I'm going to be sharing with you the video footage as a reminder of what they said. And they're saying it's coming back to the table right now. They want to get this done. Now, also, I mentioned to you that there are 4 gas stimulus checks being proposed right now, currently in negotiations. That would be a monthly reoccurring check or a quarterly check. Some are for one-time payments. Also, child tax credits, we're hearing, are back on the table for consideration as well, and it might actually be a larger amount coming out this time too. Also, $10 billion is under negotiation for therapeutics and vaccines. We're hearing that House Democrats are also pushing for more stimulus provisions to help out small businesses. So there is a lot going on right now, and we're hearing that it's starting to pick up pace, just as we expected, as we get closer to those midterm elections. Now, in addition to that, take a look at the breaking news coming out, you guys, as yesterday we received word that a federal judge strikes down the mask mandate for planes and public transit as they were trying to extend this out further. I've got some video footage for you from White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki in response to this, as the judge throws out the federal mask mandate for public transportation, saying masks on planes are needed no more. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, you guys, but we're going to dive into the video footage and these articles and get you caught up on the latest, as this is huge news. We came to Los Angeles with masks. We might be leaving without them. And we're also hearing, though, that there is a new wave that is hitting the United States right now, a subvariant of the Omicron. And there's a lot of people saying it might be too soon to remove this mandate. We might be experiencing another wave here very soon. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, but I'm going to dive into the latest, get you caught up right now. But before we do, if you could do me a quick favor, just takes a second. If you appreciate the updates, don't forget, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you'd like to stay up to date, totally free to do so. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. You can come join the Ram fam. It's free. Why not? I'll let you know everything going on. And if you'd like to ask me any specific questions, hop onto Instagram, shoot me a DM at SteveRam3, and consider joining the second channel. There's going to be a lot more content coming out on Steve Ram Finance for those of you interested in learning about growing wealth and personal finance. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in, and let's start off with some video footage of this mask mandate, the White House responding, and then we're going to talk about more stimulus.
I want to belabor this only because we've heard from the airlines, from airport passengers. There may be people sitting in an airport bar watching right now wondering if they're boarding a flight tonight, is the mask mandate still in place?
We're continuing to recommend people wear masks. I don't have any update. This just came out through the courts just this afternoon, and as soon as there is an update, we will provide that to all of you.
Is the White House anticipating an announcement by Homeland Security tonight?
They are assessing it right now, and as soon as they have an assessment and an update on additional steps, they'll make that available.
But if the DOJ, say, doesn't stay the order tonight or first thing tomorrow morning, are passengers...
I understand why you're asking, and certainly no one here is trying to provoke uncertainty with passengers. We also think the mask mandate should be in place and that it's safer for individuals who are flying to continue to wear masks. So we would say to anyone sitting out there, we'd recommend you wear masks on the airplane. And then as soon as we can provide an update from here, hopefully soon, we'll provide that to all of you.
2 more related CDC things.
Yeah.
In the ruling, the judge said that she accepts the CDC's argument that masks limit COVID spread. But that alone is not sufficient to overcome what she concludes is a rule that exceeds the agency's authority to put it in place. The administration believes otherwise, right?
Otherwise, we wouldn't have put it in place to begin with.
So that potentially is the crux of an appeal or an attempt to stop.
Well, again, I would leave that to the Department of Justice. But what we announced last week was just a 2-week extension in order to have time to assess. What we've all seen is rising cases and make an assessment and recommendation with that in mind. So, of course, it's disappointing.
So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki emphasizing that the White House feels that this should still be in place. We still should be wearing masks. It's too soon. But we heard that the federal judge overruled it and threw it out. Let me know your thoughts, you guys. But now let's dive into the latest on the stimulus push for the Build Back Better revised, Build Back Better 2.0. We still don't have an official name yet, but link in the description below to this article that says Democrats prepare to take a second run at Biden's spending plan. And here's what we heard from Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi.
What the president calls chunks, I would hope would be a major bill going forward. It may be more limited, but it is still significant.
So there you have it, you guys, and a link in the description below to this article that reads, top Democrats and the White House, they are eyeing a revival of the stalled-out tax and spending bill as the party tries to show deliverables to voters heading into a November election where they are facing tough political headwinds. Now, the hopes of reviving Build Back Better, albeit significantly altered and likely with a different name, comes after Senator Joe Manchin deep-sixed a roughly $2 trillion House-passed bill late last year, the Build Back Better bill. Now, since then, they've struggled with when or how to revive the issue, with most of the political oxygen focused on a Supreme Court vacancy and Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But Democrats are signaling that they want to turn back to this spending bill that was meant to be the center of a stalled legislative agenda after current 2-week break, even as they face many of the same hurdles and inter-party tensions that plagued the 2021 talks. And as you guys know, we've been hearing that this was going to come back, and we were eventually going to bring this back to the table, but they've had all these other agenda items that have hit priority, and now they're coming back to this, and we're going to be seeing what's going to be passing here, especially as they mention we approach those elections. Now, White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain pointed to the reconciliation bill, which lets Democrats pass key priorities without needing GOP votes, as on the party's legislative to-do list. Now, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, during a recent press conference, acknowledged that discussions are still relatively nascent between Democratic senators and Manchin, but said that clinching a spending bill is still a priority for the caucus. We'd like to move a reconciliation bill and go as far as we can, get as much done as we can with 50 votes. So through the process of reconciliation, Democrats in the White House are signaling that they've learned lessons from last year's failed talks. And the White House is being careful not to talk about publicly or criticize Democratic senators whose votes they ultimately need. And we had heard that the new song was, "We Don't Talk About Manchin," because last year they had mentioned a few things that Manchin was the cause of stalls, and he did not like that. And that has pretty much ended talks at that moment. So now they're being very careful about what they say. Manchin publicly fumed late last year and appeared to accuse the White House staff of leaking information during several rounds of the Build Back Better negotiations, saying that they put some things out that were absolutely inexcusable. And we had seen those protests coming out, and we had heard that there were threats against him and his family as well. National Economic Council Director Brian Deese, during a Christian Science Monitor event with reporters, declined to comment on conversations about trying to cut the long-sought spending deal that would carry many of the party's legislative priorities. I don't think that has served anyone particularly well, he said, but we are continuing to work and focus and make the case for an approach that we think makes a lot of economic sense right now. So, not given a whole lot of details, but they're saying that they're working on it right now. Deese's comments come after the White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki first hinted at a strategy earlier this year when asked about Manchin, and she told reporters, "I'm just not going to get into private discussions or conversations with any members of the Senate. I know that's maybe a change." Neither Senate Democratic leadership nor the White House have set a firm deadline for when they would want to get a revived deal done. But some Democratic senators have floated Memorial Day, as I've shared with you here on the channel, or at least midsummer before they pull the plug for good. Now, reviving even a smaller version of the bill feels like a long shot, given the fact that Democrats are facing many of the same headaches that bungled the first effort. Senator Kirsten Sinema of Arizona, from the Chamber of Commerce speech, she indicated that her red lines remained intact from Build Back Better talks. What I can't tell you is if negotiations will start again, she said. I'll be the same person, though, in negotiations, if they start again, that I was in negotiations last year, letting us know, vocalizing that her disapproval back then is still going to be the same right now. You all know, the entire country knows that I'm opposed to raising the corporate minimum tax rate, and that right there is a huge issue because with the increased inflation at a 40-year high, increased gas prices, grocery prices, right now, those conservative Democrats are saying they are against providing any additional spending unless they can do it in a way which does not add to debt, which will spark even more inflation. So they're trying to find pay-fors. And one of the suggestions is to increase taxes on corporations and the wealthy to help pay to help pay for this bill. But we're hearing that Kyrsten Sinema is saying she is not on board, and they literally need every single one of those senators on board. So if she's saying no, that could kill this bill. Now, Manchin has engaged in formal talks, though cautioning that he'll talk with anyone and that formal, serious negotiations have not yet started. He's sketched out what he wants to see in a smaller package and overall of the 2017 GOP tax bill, including raising taxes on the wealthy and corporations, as well as prescription drug reform and energy and climate packages. So those are the things he'd like to see, but right there you see modifications of those taxes, which Kyrsten Sinema said she's not on board for. He's also making it clear that his colleagues would have to drop some of their pet projects, saying during a recent Hopi Churchill interview that we're not going down on social program path in reconciliation. I'm happy to talk to you about a good tax package, Manchin said. I'm happy to talk to you about a climate package, in energy, a climate package, but I can't basically just beat the living out of an engine that runs the train, pulls the train, which is fossils right now, as we transition. Manchin is also concerned about inflation, as we mentioned, which has only increased since Build Back Better collapsed last year and is the biggest political win now, pushing against the party. Manchin wants half of any new revenues from spending bill to go towards deficit reduction. So you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Sounds like Democrats, they are making the push to try to get this done, and we will see. I will keep you up to date. As I mentioned, there is a lot on the table right now. We have gas stimulus checks proposed, child tax credits, Build Back Better is coming to the forefront, and we're hearing they want to get this done by Memorial Day, and it's a midterm election year. So we're going to be seeing what they're able to pull off, and I will be sure to let you know here on the channel. And as I mentioned, you guys, I am away in Los Angeles, so I'm going to try to make sure I can just get up maybe a daily update for you guys as to what's going on, but might not be the breaking news updates like I usually do, but I promise I will try my best to make sure that I keep you guys up to date here on the channel. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. Once again, thank you to my friend Ben. Check out his channel, Ben Stone Teach Jesus APP. And if you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps out the channel a ton. I appreciate it. And if you'd like to stay up to date, totally free, why not? Come join the Ram fam. All you gotta do is hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. If you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, and consider joining the second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me once again, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care, God bless. This is Steve.